Immigrants on temporary protected status say they are concerned about their futures here in America.
In June, the U.S. Supreme Court ruled the Trump administration can end TPS for Haiti and Syria. Immigration experts say other countries could be next.
KETV News Watch 7's Madison Perales talks with an Omaha man on TPS who may face a similar fate.
According to a 2018 independent policy group study, nearly 90% of Salvadorans on temporary protected status contribute to the labor force. The man I spoke to falls into this number and came to the U.S. when he was 6. Victor Francia starts his morning with a cup of coffee at 5 in the afternoon before he heads to his job.
I work in like a food manufacturing facility at the moment, and I work 7 days a week. Overnights.
When he gets off work, he connects with his faith.
God, will protect you from harm and when you're facing tough situations.
Francia is one of over 170,000 El Salvadorans on temporary protected status, or TPS, in America.
We're not able to vote. We're not able to join the military. Even though we pay taxes, we're not able to qualify for any federal assistance almost.
Immigration attorney Brian Blackford says right now, Francia and countless others on TPS are faced with a harsh reality.
The Trump administration is systematically ending those from nearly every country that once had it.
Francia's country is still under the program, but it will expire in September.
Unlike the other countries on TPS, the president of El Salvador actually has a good relationship with the Trump administration.
Ariel Megañan Linares with the Center for Immigrant and Refugee Advancement says the administration could extend TPS for El Salvador. In recent years, the country was designated one of the safest Latin American countries.
Even the Salvadoran government recognizes there's a lot of work to do on the economic and infrastructure front.
Francia does not believe his status is in the clear.
It's really uncertain. I only have like a month of time to try to figure out what am I going to do over there.
In a statement to KETV, the Department of Homeland Security says TPS has functioned as a de facto amnesty program or a program protecting criminals.
These are not the worst, and they can't be, by definition, to have TPS.
I don't have any crime on my record. I've known people that have gotten deported after having a crime on their record.
Megañan Linares points to COVID as an example of TPS workers' grit.
People were talking about folks that were on TPS, they often referred to them as essential workers.
The Sierra attorney says the TPS program was created in 1990 as a way to protect immigrants from ongoing conflicts in their home country or natural disasters, like Francia and his family, who came to the U.S. after hurricanes washed through El Salvador.
Everything had been destroyed that we had.
He's been in the U.S. for 28 years, 25 of those under TPS.
They take pictures of us. We put they got all our fingerprints.
Lawyers tell Francia his options are marriage or a petition through one of his siblings.
It can take 20 to 25 years of a waiting period, and it doesn't give me any legal status to wait here.
Francia adds marriage is off the table, and he says he doesn't consider El Salvador his home, but if his status ends, leaving his family would be the most difficult part.
This might be some of my last moments here with them because I don't know if I'll have an opportunity to come back.
D.C. lawmakers are bringing the 2025 Dream and Promise Act back into conversations as a potential pathway to citizenship for those on TPS, along with 81 U.S. congressional members signing a letter urging DHS to extend TPS for Salvadorans. DHS tells KETV in a statement in part, quote, "It's closing time, which means you don't have to go home, but you can't stay here." Madison Perales, KETV, News Watch 7.